Oh my gosh. So this has been so much fun. And really, obviously, we're here talking about millennial shit, but also millennial milestones. So,
Yeah.
what are your big millennial milestones?
Yeah.
Whether those are
I
moments
mean,
or pieces of advice that you would give yourself.
true. I mean, look, for me, if I go back to the one of the earlier ones, I'm thinking about 16.
Mhm.
16 was huge, right? You're like, you can get your license. And my sister and I were very, we mentioned before I have a twin sister. Hi, Caroline. We'll make her listen
Hi,
and watch.
Caroline. Thank you for
Um,
listening
Thanks
and
for
watching.
listening and watching. She'll do both. We're gonna make her do both. It's fine.
Yep.
Um, I remember we were very adamant about getting our licenses on our 16th birthday. So we did driver's ed, and then we turned 16. We woke up that morning, went to get our licenses that morning. We were doing summer
Nice.
school. Yeah, we were doing summer school at the community college. So like we were like, oh, we get to drive ourselves. Because also community college, like there are a lot of adults who go to community college,
Right, right.
and we were the only ones getting dropped off by like our parents because we couldn't drive. So we felt very grown driving in the community college. It's Richland College, which is down the street from our house. Like it was a 5-minute drive.
But it's
Not
still a big
not
deal.
anything extravagant, but it meant a lot to us in the moment to drive. And then I remember our parents had planned. It was very sweet of them. Planned a surprise sweet 16 for us. So like
Mm.
they, although it was pretty obvious because our shout out to our friends Valerie and Luann. They were on Facebook like the night before, and they're like, and obviously those were two of our best friends. They were like, "Can't wait for tomorrow, ha ha ha!" On Facebook, I was like, tomorrow's our birthday.
Other than that, I don't really have any plans, so
I was like, are they just like hanging out without us, or it feels like maybe something's happening? But they do apparently, and I was like, I remember talking to my mom and being like, "How did you guys plan this? Like, I feel like I have my phone with me all the time." And she's like, "No, you don't. I literally just went through your phone." I was like, "Well, okay, that feels like a boundary
wow.
crossing." But
But it was good, it was good, like, the purpose was
yeah,
good overall.
yeah. Also, thank you. Hopefully, you weren't reading anything else and just contacting our friends. It was very very nice. So 16 was kind of about the freedom of like being able to drive and again, we were the youngest of our friends, so and none of our friends had licenses, so we were
Oh,
the first ones to drive. Yeah, we were like, "How come you guys are all older than us? Like,
like,
we're the only ones
we're
driving."
stuck together, like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was really important to us to be able to drive, and then we ended up, like, driving most of our friends around for, like, the
Nice.
next year.
That's
By the
that's what
time
they
we
were
were
waiting for.
seniors yeah, by the time we were seniors, I feel like most people had gotten their licenses. It just took everybody else a little bit longer. Like, "Oh, we'll just get to ride with the twins." Yeah, so 16 was a whole thing about feeling a little bit more grown up and having that freedom to drive. And not that we were, we still had kind of a curfew, I guess. I don't know. My parents were pretty. They knew we were good kids, so they were just like we weren't like the furthest we would drive would be like to the dollar movies, which was a 30-minute drive away, and like then we'd like come home like we weren't doing anything wild, and they knew that. So
Right.
um, but it was
Yeah.
still a little, they didn't have to drive us to the dollar movies anymore. So it was very much like a taste of freedom there.
Nice.
I guess I have always been very financially conscious though. We were at the dollar movies way more than we were at the regular movies. Like I'll drive a little bit further to pay a little bit less. We were cheap as hell. Or smart as hell, who knows?
Those are
So
both.
that was 16. 18 was a different kind of for everyone. I turned 18 right before going to college. So I remember that birthday, we, a couple of friends, we tried to go to this club downtown, but I think our birthday was on a Saturday and that night was 21 plus. So
Oh.
we ended up where we like always ended up. I think we ended up at an IHOP and just like, we're like, well, we tried. We tried to have a night out. But I think the biggest thing for me looking back at 18, I didn't realize how like homesick I would be going to college. I was really
Mhm.
homesick like the first couple months, and because I didn't realize it's something you don't realize until you leave.
Right.
Like I talked to my sister like all the time when I was at home, and then I realized that we were gonna have to start calling each other because Caroline went to college in New York,
Mhm.
um, and I that never even occurred to me. I was like, oh my gosh, we have to like something just happened in my life, and usually I would just like turn to Caroline and tell her what happened. And then I realized I was like, oh my god, I have to call her in order for her to know about this. And the way her school is so funny. They had so many breaks that we didn't have. They had
Uh-huh.
so many, and they started school way later, and they also ended earlier. And she still graduated in 3 years. I feel like something was fishy there,
Uh,
but so she didn't. Yeah, she didn't go leave for college until like 3 weeks after I did. Like
Interesting.
she had a way delayed time, but I think that was the biggest thing, was trying to learn how to be independent,
Mhm.
um, and being used to my sister. Not, I didn't realize how much like I relied, and I guess that's probably a twin thing.
Right,
Not
'cause
realizing how much you rely on them,
yeah,
um, which was a wild thing to realize, or even just talking to my parents,
you literally having
um,
to pick up the phone and be like,
and call them.
"I ate
Yeah,
this, I did this," and it's weird because it's not as natural as just, like, being even in the same room or whatever, like
yeah. So
yeah.
that was 18, trying to learn how to be independent.
Love
21. I turned 21 right before senior year of college.
yeah.
That one was an interesting birthday, and you went through this with me, and was such a great person. But my brother passed away a couple months before I turned 21, um, and so that was an interesting birthday because, well, especially because we had planned to celebrate that birthday. Our brother was really excited. He was 6 years older than us, so he was really
Mhm.
excited to celebrate that with us. And we're finally like adults together. We were always just in
Right.
different stages of our lives. Like we were little, he was a teenager. We were teenagers, he was grown.
You are
We were
always
finally
trying
going to,
to catch up.
yeah, we were finally going to be in the same places in our lives. And unfortunately, he passed 2 days after his birthday, and his 27th birthday. And
Mhm.
I'm going to touch on turning 27 actually too on this milestone thing, because that was tough. Um, Turning 21, my mom felt it was really sweet of her, actually. She felt bad, obviously.
Mhm.
So she, like, took us on this, like, kind of spur of the moment trip to Vegas for our 21st birthday,
Oh, nice.
which was very sweet. She did not have to do that, and I think it was like we're gonna try to make the best of this kind of birthday as we can. We're also obviously very sad, but,
Mhm.
it was the first time I'd ever gotten drunk with my mom, though. That was fun. Like, because she was very much like, I think that was the birthday. She was like, "Okay, we're all adults now. Let's go."
No holding back now, like, "Y'all
Yeah,
grown, I'm
yeah,
grown, let's do it." That's amazing.
yeah. My mom is dope as hell. I love her. She's not like a typical. She doesn't have like. I'm trying to say something that I feel like she'll take as an insult, but it's not. Like, as an adult, man, me and her are like, we roll together. That's my girl.
That's amazing, though.
I love being an adult with my mom. She's very fun. I enjoy spending time with her. But yeah, so that was 21. That was a rough one. Uh, yeah, and I think and we've both gone through some stuff, and it's like grief is such a big part of growing up, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is.
Um, and there's so many moments that I can think of, especially in my 20s. I feel like, oh my God, and that goes for a bunch of different things, but particularly 21 and like, yeah, senior year of college is I think all of college is kind of a blur for me. Not that I was going wild, I just like genuinely don't remember a lot of it.
Mhm.
And I do want to wonder what that was about. But yeah, particularly senior year, I don't remember much of senior year at all. Like I know that happened. I know I applied for jobs. I know I got a job. I don't know. I think because there was so much grief surrounding that year for me, but so much of it is gone in my memory.
And it's possibly,
So I
like,
think I'd
a
rather not
way
remember it.
yeah, and possibly, like, a safety mechanism for your mind in a way, like, you can only cope with so much, you can only feel so much, and, like, you're trying to get
100%.
through, but it's still, like, day to day, grief is affecting every asset of your life, so it's kind of like, I know this is
100%.
happening, I know it's a big thing, I know I'm graduating, I'm getting pretty decent grades, but it's not hitting me right now in this moment because
Exactly.
it's
Because
just
there's so many other things
mhm,
happening that you're like, I don't really know how I'm supposed to deal with all of these things happening back to back. Because there were so many good things obviously happening, but
right.
graduating is a huge deal. That's a huge deal and a huge accomplishment for anyone. Um, getting a job is also very, it's just, none of it really stuck out in my mind. I think I had a good time at graduation. I remember my aunts came down, my dad drove up. That was cool.
Yeah, more eye help. Like, you got a degree that
Yeah.
you're still in debt
Oh,
for.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then so I guess the next milestone of a birthday, I'm gonna combine 27 and 28 for me
Mhm,
because that it was weird turning 27, knowing that that was the age that my brother passed away. So I remember being like turning 27 and like 3 days after my birthday being like, I've officially lived longer than my brother did, which is a weird thing to think about. Someone who was so, uh, who always felt so much older, I guess, and
mhm,
now I've, you know, lived longer and been turning 28, kind of the same thing in this experience. And I even told my sister the other day, um, I was like doing the math and I was like, next year, Josh, who my brother, uh, we, we would have lived a third of our lives without him. Like
mm.
next year, it'll be, us being 30, 10 years, he'll be gone. And it's a weird thing to think about that a third of our lives he has not been here for.
That's surreal.
Um, it is 100%, and it's I don't even know how to describe it, and it's yeah, because I would have loved to see what he would have been doing if he was still here.
Right.
Um, but we have my niece is very she and it's funny she just has no idea how much she is like him, and it's
Yeah, your brother's, daughter, which you guys
yes,
kind of reconnected in a way after this, which was it's an interesting
I
part of
mean,
the story, kind of like the light in all of the
yeah.
darkness about it, but that
Yeah,
that was
that was the
amazing.
whole that was also a milestone, I guess, in my 20s is
Yeah.
for
Even know
context for people, is that we were unaware that my brother had a kid, like, until I got a message on Facebook. This was 2016, 2017. And so we got that message, and I was like, and I had vaguely remembered. It's so interesting what's important to you at the time and what's not. I had vaguely remembered my brother kind of mentioning something about this when we were in high school,
Mhm.
like that he might have a kid. He's not totally sure, kind of deal. And I was like, okay, like I'm just worried about this math test I have tomorrow. Okay,
Right,
but
exactly, like
yeah, and so, like, as soon as I read that Facebook message, all those memories came flooding back of him mentioning this, like, I was like, "Wow, this is something I should have paid way more attention to."
right, like, maybe you
Of course,
should
my
have looked
parents
into this.
yeah, my parents had no idea about it at all, and, luckily we they did all the tests, confirmed that that is their granddaughter and our niece, and she's incredible.
That's
So, we love her
amazing.
very much. She's been staying with my parents for the past couple of weeks, and it's been they've had a lot of fun adventures, it seems. So,
Nice. That's so good. That's amazing.
yeah,
And, like, obviously his memory lives on, but it's really nice and beautiful to see it in her face and, like, her personality and, like, how she's like him, how she's not, and, like, the fact
yeah,
that you guys can still share those memories with her and share who he was with her, that's a beautiful gift.
yeah. It is. It is, and I think that's moving on to 30, and the milestones of that. I think that's something that again, I just kind of want to slow down and take in these moments because and even just like learning, like with the loss that I've experienced, like one of my best friends, and this is one that's still really fresh for me. One of my best friends from forever passed away last year, and that one's still like really fresh. And like we were trying to figure out a way to visit it. She was living in Kentucky, so
Mhm.
trying to figure out a way that we could all go visit each other post pandemic. And so it's just like for me, it's taking the time to really just like reconnect with everyone who's closest to me, and like just spending that time. And she gave me this necklace, by the way. It says Leo on it. It was a birthday present a few years ago.
Oh, that's so
So
sweet.
yeah, I miss her very much. So I think it's to me, it's just like taking the time to spend time with the people who mean the most to me, and like I don't know. I feel like I've experienced a lot. I still have a lot more to experience, hopefully. And I think going to my 30s, I just want to be very present for all of those moments and for the people. I want to show up for the people in my life. So, um, you know, if they want to send me some money to get on a plane to go see them, that would be helpful.
I feel like you're talking directly to me right now.
I'm like, you want to pay for the flight? That would be
I mean, you
really
could drive.
nice.
It's only a 6-hour drive up here. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's a good point. I really don't have an excuse. I need to just hop in the car and go. It's still gas money.
I can't.
But do you got an extra parking space outside your building? Can I
Actually,
park
we
out there?
do. We do. You can
Okay,
camp out here anytime you want.
okay, okay, perfect. Okay, it'll happen. I'll make this
Yeah,
work.
but before that ask, I was gonna say such wise words, Kat, but yeah.
It's like if you want to send me some money to do it, might make it easier.
I'll
No, but I
save
do
some
feel
gas
well, I
money.
do also want to say though, because I do feel like I focused a lot on grief and the sad things. There's been so many wonderful things in my 20s that like I mean, just like friends getting married, friends having babies, growing families and just all around wonderful milestones for my friends and family members too. So there are very good things happening. I don't want to just make it sound
I
oh my 20s were so sad. A lot of great things. I moved to LA. I got to experience
right.
that, and that was I if I had stopped at 25, I could have mentioned that. Moved out here, yeah, right after my 25th birthday. So there were so many beautiful things that happened in my 20s that I'm really grateful for. So met so many new people in my 20s that I'm very grateful to have those people in my life. Um, I've, you know, my mom has been able to retire, kind of, not really, because she's a kind of a workaholic and will, continues to work, teaches now. I've been very grateful. Got to spend, I my grandparents are all now gone, but I got to spend some more time with them in my 20s, which I didn't get to do as much when I was younger because we all lived in different places.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I feel very grateful for the good moments too. I've had a lot of good moments, and I'm very grateful for the good ones too.
I
Uh,
I
but it is
love
interesting. I think maybe it's a human thing to kind of focus on so much of the bad and grief when you talk about these milestones. When God, there's so many good things too.
I love it
I
though.
yeah,
I think it's just like it speaks to a well-rounded human experience because honestly it's kind of like you can't really appreciate the good moments without acknowledging and realizing the bad. And yes, there have been like some crazy moments, but like even through that, you come out the other side, and you
yeah,
learn and you reflect and you appreciate and you grow deeper in yourself and what you want out of life and what you want from the relationships in your life, and
yeah,
the fact that you want to be more present, you want to, be able to be with the people that you love and talk and spend more time. I think that's a beautiful thing to even realize coming out of that. Like, every moment's not promised. So just like make the most out of the present moments you've got. And remember to
absolutely.
say, hi, and I love you, and I miss you, and which I'm saying to you right now, and just really
I love
appreciate
you and I miss you too.
actually feel like those relationships are the ones that like make life the best, and make you kind of just want to continue to wake up and live for today. So I love that. I
Yeah.
totally endorse all of that. So I think it's great.
Yay. I have your endorsement.
Yes, you do. You have my endorsement, the Bad Millennial Podcast
Score.
endorsement.
That felt very millennial to say, score.
Oh my
When
God.
was the last time you heard somebody say score?
No.
Like when we were like 10? It was really in for a second.
Oh my God. We're bringing that back. Let's date ourselves.
I'll bring it back. Let's do it.
Oh,
I'll
I
bring
love
score
that.
back.
Sweet. So you talk about, what you wish for your 30s, which I love being present and just like acknowledging every day and moments and relationships. I wonder kind of if you had to talk to yourself in your 20s, like, is there something that you wish you would have known in your 20s? Or is there kind of
Mm.
any advice you would have given yourself?
I would say maybe to just let loose a little bit more. Not that I'm definitely not, I don't think I'm stuck up or anything, but I definitely, I've experienced certain things that when I do want to let loose, I get a little bit nervous about it, um, just because of things that I've uh, viewed from a distance, I guess,
Mhm.
being extremely big about that. But like, I in college, especially, like I definitely didn't let loose in college, which is when you're supposed to do that, or so they say. Like, we weren't going out doing anything like super wild while we were in college, really.
No.
Not that I really wanted to. This is really not my scene, but I would have been totally okay with like being relaxing just a little bit more and like, look, it's hopefully all gonna work out, and it did. Um, and you'll end up where you're supposed to be in due time. I think I was always pretty focused about getting to LA. So I even remember when I took the job in Jacksonville, I was like, I'm moving the
Yeah, you're
opposite
like,
direction.
"I gotta get out of Florida." Like, "No, this is
I
not for
literally,
me."
I mean, yes, yeah. Which is also a thing. Look, I will say it's also a thing where when I tell people that I live in Florida, they're like, "Really? Interesting. That's, that's a choice." Yeah. So I think maybe focus a little bit less on my end goal and just kind of, have a good time where I'm at with where I'm at, would have been my advice to my or to myself in the last 2 weeks of being 29.
Yeah,
Uh, of like, relax and be happy with where you're at and be present, which is what I'm hoping for my 30s.
yeah, I love
Um,
that, and I wish
yeah.
all of that for you in your 30s because
I wish all of that for you in your 30s.
I know, right? Bro, I got so excited when I discovered my first white hair the other day. Like, I was like, "You know
I
what?
discovered one too. It's in there somewhere. I don't know where.
This is
I think it's in the
living.
back.
This is life
Yeah.
experience. This is beautiful. We're aging. We're gracefully and
Yeah.
enjoying it, you know? Like, we're not trying to change nothing. We're not going after all those A's or another degree or whatever. Like it's almost like our 20s were kind of like a race to just reach a finish line of something, but realizing we're all going on a journey to get somewhere and we're going to get there. It's just like
Yeah.
enjoy the journey and the view
Yeah.
you got right now, instead of always having to
Yeah.
look forward because you're going to miss what's in front of you, you know. So,
Always.
yeah.
Always. And I do feel like there were moments where I did that, or even like when I was in Florida, I was definitely always like looking forward to being here. And I wish that I had taken more time in Florida just to be like I was constantly being like, I'm not gonna be here forever. Like, and I wasn't, but I definitely should have been more present in the time that I was there. And I still, have made great relationships there and still have those relationships. And I'm very grateful for them. But I could have been more present. I know I could have been,
Yeah.
especially looking back. And yeah, it's one of those things. I do like aging a lot. I so you know this about me. This is a weird. I keep getting off onto these weird tangents, but like, so my, that I kind of have these like little moles all
Mhm.
over my face.
Uh-huh.
Don't look too closely, people. I have these little moles all over my face, and as I get older, I get more of them. And to me, that has been really nice because not that I ever thought my dad wasn't my dad, but it is very clearly a Wilkins family trait.
Yes.
We're very moly people, and so whenever I get one, it just reminds me of, like, my family, and I feel very grateful to have my family and be a part of that family.
Yeah.
Because, like, with my mom, like, I look a lot like that lady. I know that I'm related to
Yeah.
her. So I like these little reminders of, like, I got 2 sides of the family, and they're both great, and I'm very grateful for them both. So as I get
Yeah.
older, every time a new little mole pops up, I'm like, "Man, it's good to be a Wilkins."
That's so funny. Like, honestly, I feel like I'm a carbon copy of my mom's face too, but, like, I've
You
got
have a
this,
lot of
like
your mom's face.
it's scary. It's always just always, like, copy paste. Boom, there it is, and it's just funny how, like, little things pop up that remind me of her or my dad, and I'm just like, "Oh my god."
I also think you look like a good mix of both your parents, so I think,
Yeah, I say
I
so.
think I think you're like, it's a perfect combo, you
And
know?
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like
there's certain parts of your face where you're like, "This is mom, this is dad, this
and this is me, and this. It's like all
this is
perfectly,
me." Ah, I love that. This is
right?
mom, this is dad, this is me.
This is me.
Good milestones, bad milestones, they make us who we are, and as we enter our 30s, I hope that we put forth the lessons that we've learned and come out better people because of them.
Yeah, that's all what, being a bad millennial is about, embracing it. just embracing it,
Damn.
breaking the
Right.
standards, the stigmas, and just living life as
Look at
whole
you plugging the
yourself.
title in there. Oh my
Hey,
God.
shameless
I was
plug.
like, bro, bad millennials. You're right. There's no such thing as being a good millennial. We're all just trying to figure it out.
We are, and we're making our own rules. We're breaking some that you really just have to just let go, be yourself, and
Yeah.
enjoy life along the way. Because there is no playbook for this at all.
No,
I did not
at
think I was
all.
going to be having fun on TikTok when I'm 30 some years old, but here I am.
I
Okay.
still I still don't have a TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. I don't have what's the new Twitter for Instagram
Oh,
called?
threads. Yeah, I'm on
Twitter
that
for
too.
Instagram. I'm sure they don't like that I said that. It's what it is though, right? That's what it
It is. I mean, and it's easy because you can just literally use your Instagram account and you're on threads. Boom. Just download the app
Yeah,
and they already have all of your info, which is kind of creepy, but that's Facebook. I mean,
it's a
Meta.
little bit creepy. I
Yeah.
did have a Snapchat for like a hot second. I remember I sent exactly one snap to a boy in college that I talked to for a little bit, and then I was like, no, no, no. And then I deleted it because I was like, I don't like that you can send these pictures and then they're just like gone. I
Right.
was, isn't that how Snapchat works? I don't know. I sent one snap and I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, you can
Bye.
like I think you could like pick a time how long you see it, and I think there's some that they can like save. But yeah, pretty creepy, and I'm pretty sure those things aren't actually gone. Like they're saved somewhere.
I don't.
So
I didn't like it. I was like,
yes,
okay, this is the last time I use this.
PSA for all y'all who still
I'm
use Snapchat.
Yeah, I'm a millennial, but I probably identify with boomers sometimes. Also, let's throw out some respect for Generation X. I feel
Mm,
like they are overlooked all the time. It's either
fair,
you're a boomer or a millennial, and people just
right?
kind of forget about Gen X. And they
There's
are a whole group of people who deserve some recognition for existing.
fair. We love our Gen X listeners and all of you guys.
We do.
Like,
We do. We love all the generations. All the
yeah.
generations matter.
Yeah, we all like affect each other at the end of the day. I mean, yes, millennial is a hot button term right now, but you know, we still have to learn from our elders and we still have to respect the youngsters and get along together in this crazy world, you know?
All true. All very true. We are a society of multiple generations,
Hmm.
and everyone deserves some respect.
There you go. We're all
I'm here
trying to
to say, as a millennial, put some respect on the Gen X name. Uh,
Gen X.
I don't know why.
We love
Gen
you.
X.
We love you. Buy our merch. I have merch on Etsy. Go ahead, go get it. I'll put something on
Oh
Gen
yeah, buy the
X.
merch. Buy the merch. I'm gonna go buy some merch
Is
too.
there a way that our listeners can also support during the writers and now actors strike?
For the actors, if you'd like to help them, their SAG has the Emergency Financial Assistant Program. Um, Through SAG, you can go to the SAG website, and if you would like to donate to help actors who are currently struggling financially right now, you can do that. And then I believe for the writers, there's the Entertainment Community Fund that you can also donate to as well. And I'm sure there's other fundraisers and things like that that you can donate to. But so many writers right now they don't have an income because we are not working, we're on strike. So if you are able to, I'm sure the writers and actors would really really appreciate it because it's a tough time and it's a weird time in the industry. So any help that others are able to provide would be very very nice. Yeah, it is a weird time, and we're hoping for the best outcome for all the creatives involved. And even though it's just the writers, currently it's the writers and the actors on strike. It affects the entire industry. People who worked on productions obviously aren't working on productions currently because
Right.
nobody else is there to be on camera or to write scripts. So yeah, everyone's being affected. So any help is greatly appreciated.
Yeah, honestly, Hollywood's at a standstill, and it's kind of like, realizing how important the little guy is from production to people who are building sets to people who are, background actors. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, put respect on their names. We're not trying to
Put
AI
some
scan
respect on
everybody.
the
Like,
name.
pay a fair wage. Come on,
Yes.
period. So, Yeah, if you guys can help and donate, please do. If you guys are also in the LA areas, the New York areas, everywhere where there's a strike, go ahead, buy some pizza, hand it out, help people, get some
Yeah, or if you
umbrellas,
wanna get your
shade.
steps in, if you wanna get your steps in too, we're always happy to have more people at the picket line.
There you go.
You know,
Join the cause.
solidarity in numbers, and it's really great to see, just having even friends come out or people who just aren't even a part of it at all, but like, just wanna support and show their solidarity. We've had a bunch of people out at picket lines, and who knows who you'll run into
Oh, yeah,
also
that's
at
true. The
picket lines,
family phones are out now?
There are there are some cool faces that you might see, if that is of interest to anybody to come out to the picket lines. Don't bombard anybody. That would be not cool, but, like, you can maybe wave.
You can, yeah, compliment them on their sign, "That's funny, ha ha. Can I have your autograph, by the way?"
Also, yeah, you're, like, making a sign, you're just, like, sliding your little autograph pad
Right?
to some of the bigger people that are, out there, but, yeah, people have been out for the riders have been out for almost 3 months. We're entering week 13 currently, so whenever this comes out, it'll probably be week 15, 16.
Mhm.
We've been out for a hot minute, and hopefully we're able to come to a fair deal sooner rather than later. But we've heard different things, and we're just trying to stay optimistic. I think right now.
Yeah, that's really all
Uh,
the only mood you can be, just optimistic
yeah,
and stay driven and,
yeah,
you know
and the actors have brought, shout out to them. They've brought such a great energy. We have been out there for a while, so it's nice to have a new, energy to the line. Yeah. Plus, like, actors
Yeah.
they're fun. They're fun.
The
They're a
fact
lot of
that, big names are out there too, it just shows how serious this is, It's not just like
yeah,
millionaires wanting more money or whatever, or like rich people just want to get richer. Like, no, it's just like
yeah.
common decency, respect our work and pay us what we're worth. Like, that's
Well,
really.
yeah, and I think that's where some of the misinformation has come in, is, like,
Mhm.
people will be like, "What is insert famous and well-paid actor here doing out on the picket line? They clearly make enough money." And it's like, that is not why they're out there. They're out there to support the other actors and writers, because those people represent like 1% of the actors, right? The
Right.
the very successful people who make a lot of money, whereas everyone else is like struggling to have health insurance, or just like make a being able to live in LA is hard enough. It's like being able to afford to live here. So they are out there to rep those people, to stand in solidarity with them. They realize they aren't necessarily the people who are as affected, but they are there to support their peers, and it
100%.
means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So hoping for the best. This took a turn. I know this is not what we were talking about before.
No, but I think it's important, and it is also part of the millennial experience for people who are working in these industries. And even if you're not an actor or a writer, like, there's times when you're like, I know I should be paid more, or I know that, I'm
Yeah,
doing extra than he is, but he gets all the credit. Like, there's all these types of, parallels between work that
yeah,
we're all just trying to pay rent and have a decent dinner, and
exactly.
if we can't get
Well,
a day without that and being respected and being paid and taken seriously, then what is there?
yeah. Exactly. And to think about the last strike, the 2007, 2008
Mhm.
writer strike, like, we were 14 when that happened. It's weird
Right.
to think about, and I remember, like, reading about it and watching, like, news segments about it and, like, not really fully understanding what was going on. Like, I cared,
Right.
obviously, I watched a lot of television, watched a lot of movies, had plans to go into this industry. But it is wild to be here and be a part of it. It is a historic thing. It really is.
It
So to be a
is.
part of it and be on the right side of history, um, it is weirdly special. And I hope that we're able to get all the things that we are fighting for. Um, so fingers crossed on that
Well
one.
said.
Yeah.
Well said. Amazing. Oh, and where can the people find you, if they want to see more of your work or just like chat, or contact you or whatever? Share your deets with the peeps.
Yeah. I'm on some of the socials. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Cat Wilkins at Cat Wilkins with three S's, which is maybe not the best. Every time I try to explain that to somebody, they're like, "So it's three S's after the S?" I'm like, "No, it's three S's with the S
Total.
that's in my name."
Wait, oh, with it.
Um,
Okay.
at
I actually have to write this out because I just got confused too.
what is it? At cat with a C. Nobody's gonna follow me. What they're gonna be like, "That's too complicated." I'm sorry. At at Wilkins with three S's. I don't tweet often. I
Also,
don't Instagram often.
Twitter might turn into something totally different by the time this recording comes out because
Oh,
apparently
true.
now it's gonna be called X. Um,
Wait,
mhm.
really?
Yep.
Okay, wait, I did not know that.
It's been reported. If you literally go to, like, x.com, it reroutes to Twitter, and I think he's trying to turn tweets into just X's. I don't know. Twitter's dead. I don't know. I think he's just trying to pretend that he invented something, and so he's just gonna rename everything, and the bird is gonna disappear soon. Yeah, it's
Oh, I don't
weird.
like that. Oh, okay, so I might have to get a Threads is what you're saying.
You might actually, I'm
I
sorry.
might have to get a Threads. So social media gives me anxiety. You can follow me if you'd like. But, yeah, those are my social media accounts.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's, always LinkedIn. Keep it profesh.
Cool. That's true. You can find me on LinkedIn somewhere. Type my name in LinkedIn. I'm on there somewhere.
Oh, amazing. I loved it. This is great. Yeah, it's cool. It's millennial stuff. We're talking about millennial talk, y'all, okay?
Millennial talk. We're
Relatable
bad
or not.
millennials.
There you
Don't get
go.
it twisted.
Not the average millennials, the bad
We're
millennials.
bad millennials.